Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the matrix. Subscribe.
They create the problem, then sell the solution. Check this out. Is this not weird to anybody? Or this? Or this? Bro, they are literally poisoning us. Look at the UK's ingredients versus ours. They're literally adding preservatives, all this different type of shit in our stuff in America and poisoning us so we get sick. Because in capitalism, money is the #1 thing. That's all that matters to these billionaires that are controlling us, the fucking elitist of the planet. So they feed us the poison so we buy their cure. People, this is what's going on in America right now. By the millions. Millions. Listen, this is going to continue to happen as long as we keep playing their game. We are sick, bro. We are a sick society, bro. This is exactly why we need to create our reality and make sure this is what's going on. Literally. This could be a way of life, people, but instead you guys want this bullshit. So it's time to snap out of it. They do not give a fuck about you. Wake up.
It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Ça, c'est le sourire nerveux de la révélation. Il y aura des feux tirés dans la salle.
There will be some shots fired tonight
Il pouvait pas être plus direct. Et elle dit bien la salle.
in the room.
Ballroom, qui est égal à 34 et 47 en gématria. Le nom du suspect, Cole Allen, même résultat. Et les vidéos de surveillance sont floues comme d'habitude. Encore une fausse fusillade, comme l'oreille de Trump qui n'a jamais été touchée, ou l'impact sur Charlie Kirk qui sortait son t-shirt. Et oui, comme le dit Trump, le spectacle doit continuer. Évidemment, on regarde une pièce de théâtre. Oz Perlman, l'illusionniste, fait un tour de magie juste à côté de Trump. Trump qui s'était posté lui-même en magicien le 12 avril. Parce que tout ça, c'est de la magie noire. Et les acteurs ne s'arrêtent jamais. Erika Kirk dans son rôle de pleureuse, comme d'habitude, qu'on a déjà vu se gratter les yeux en coulisses, pour forcer les larmes. Et il y a 2 jours, CNN publie un article. Comment mettre en scène une tentative d'assassinat.
This speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight. There will be some shots fired tonight.
So the White House Correspondents' Dinner has just been shot up, if you guys haven't heard by now. And right off the bat, it gets really, really weird. Now this is the suspect, Cole Allen, who is a teacher for a college preparatory, but if you look into his background, it gets interesting. Like for one, he gains a mechanical engineering degree from Caltech, then he gets his master's from Dominguez Hills in computer science. But can anybody tell me why? He was an intern back in 2014 at NASA at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is the same place where some of those missing scientists worked at. But it gets even weirder, you guys. So this account on X by the name of Henry Martinez tweeted his name back in 2023. And how is it that it has the same name, Henry Martinez, in this published paper by NASA? But get this NASA document that was published testing Orion's fairing separation system was actually published a month after Cole started interning there. What? Now, a lot of people were questioning a ton of things like, was this real? Was this fake? Makes you wonder because CNN posted this 3 days ago. This is a real article. It says, how would an assassination attempt be staged? I mean, at this point, you guys, we have to question everything because how is this possible? This account that predicted this guy's name actually dressed up as Trump at the dinner, like verbatim. So either A, we have a time traveler on our hands, or something else is afoot that we may not know yet. Okay, it's super late. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this because there's a whole lot more that I found, so stay tuned.
This is unbearable. How could anyone tolerate this sorrow? Excuse me, Mr. President. I have grandchildren. I know what they mean to their families. And to see the situation of the Palestinians without us having hearts to do something is beyond the ability of any normal human being to tolerate.
So yes, if you've been blindly cheering on these politicians that are saying there's horrible evil so bad they need to drop bombs on kids, this is what's really happening. We can't depend on our president or our Congress. It's gonna take the awakened Americans to stop this. Not just us, all humans, all people of Earth. Unite as one. My name is Derek, Static G. Follow me for more.
Well, so the ultra-terrestrials, I'll just tell you. The ultra-terrestrials, I think, have you heard of the P-52s and the P-47s? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P-47 is present plus 47,000 years. P-52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die. My dad got poached by this weird ass investor. Long story. Weird ass investor poached my dad out of NASA. And this weird ass investor who lives in Austin, Texas, whatever. This guy, this investor brings hell to our house 3 times. I was present for one of the times. I happened to be home from Seattle at the same time that hell came over. And basically ultra-terrestrials are like, he talks about extraterrestrial. Extra implies that they're from somewhere else, from the outside. Extra implies they're from not here, from ultra-terrestrial.
Quantum superposition is actually insane. It's basically saying that particles exist in the way that they are because they are being observed. But if you're not observing the particles, they can exist in any way. And so when they did the double slit experiment, they shot the atoms through 2 slits. And when it wasn't observed, the 2 slits ended up making a wave pattern and it had multiple different lines. But when they put an observer there, you could only see the 2 slits from the atoms. You couldn't see all the extra lines that were there before when it wasn't being observed. So it's like, if you're looking at it, there's 2 lines, but when you look away, there's suddenly 8 lines and it looks like a wave pattern. So is that tied into this being a simulation? And like, things are only the way that they are because of your observation? Like, the particles collapse into what you're seeing because you're observing them. But if you weren't to have observed those particles, it wouldn't have collapsed into what it is. And it could just be free and be anything. That's quite literally a simulation, no? And then I feel like that also ties into solipsism because you can't prove that anyone else has the same consciousness that you do. Like, you are only aware of your own consciousness. You can't live someone else's consciousness. I don't know. Is this a simulation, deadass? I'm so serious.
The FBI's official list of missing scientists just grew to 12, and the newest one is a 29-year-old NASA engineer who was working on how to get humans to Mars. His name was Joshua, and he was actually a team lead on NASA's nuclear propulsion program, which is the technology designed to cut the time travel to Mars in half. He also worked on a classified project between NASA and DARPA, which is the same exact agency that another missing scientist who was about to expose UFO information worked for.
The FBI announced announced that it is now investigating a string of mysterious deaths and disappearances involving top U.S. scientists over the past several years.
At 4 a.m. in the morning, his family reported him missing. His Tesla sat at an airport for 4 hours that morning, and his family said that that was not a part of the plan. By that afternoon, his car caught on fire on the side of the road, and it took 3 days for them to confirm that it was him. And the nuclear propulsion program that he was working on got suddenly and completely canceled and defunded right before he was gone. So that's a little bit insane. And over $15 million has been traded on Kalshi that says that the government is going to confirm what some of these scientists already knew. And right now there's a 20% chance that it happens. A congressman just demanded briefings from the FBI, the Department of Defense, and NASA by April the 27th. I am absolutely going to keep you updated. If you do not want to miss any other updates to the story, make sure you add me so you can come back.
And the KKK, you guys think it was just white people behind it? Brothers and sisters. You see this? It came from indigenous people. This, it was influenced by indigenous people. This was influenced by indigenous people. This was influenced by indigenous people. You get the pattern? They told you the 13 families, the Rothschild and all those people, they're in power. Just do your research and you'll see who's really in power. You'll see what's really happening. It's not about race. It's Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. The flesh isn't you, brothers and sisters, your spirits. But you're so focused on racism, you're so focused on reparation, you're so focused on the white person did this, the white person did this. Yes, racism exists. Yes, discrimination exists. Yes, police discrimination exists. Yes. How long are we going to keep playing this white and black card? You were all once indigenous people, powerful people with kingdoms. You guys think it's the white people who caused all this. No, you caused it upon yourselves. Your own people betrayed each other. That's why you guys are going through what you guys are going through right now. Look in the hoods. It's the same thing. It's just a different timeline, but it's the same thing. Karma is real. Everything has consequences.
So if you guys thought the missing and or deceased scientist fiasco was over, well, it's not. It's happening again. This is 29-year-old Joshua LeBlanc, who just last summer died in a car crash when his Tesla went off the road and burst into flames. And yes, you guessed it, he was a NASA nuclear engineer and scientist. Now this all went down in Huntsville, Alabama, aka Rocket City, which is the same place that this anti-gravity researcher Amy Eskridge was based, who was also on this list, and they said she unalived herself. Wait, hold up. A Tesla that burst into flames with somebody related to the government. I think I've seen this movie before. Remember that one time last year where that US Army Green Beret goes to the Trump Tower in Las Vegas in a Cybertruck and blows himself up? Well, this can't be related, right? Right? Actually, yeah, it is. The Cybertruck bomber Matthew Livelsberger's manifesto was actually disclosed on the Sean Ryan show. And I quote, "What we've been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered by aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast." China, huh? Well, this isn't just an American problem, this is also happening in China, where scientists are mysteriously dying as well. What? Now their list is up to 9 people who all have a background in military AI tech, hypersonics, space defense, and drones. Very interesting. Now get this, out of these cases, 3 are car accidents, 3 are illness related, and the others are unexplained incidences? It really makes you wonder, has national security been breached with the long list of scientists? And now this. Andrew Hugg, who is the branch chief at the Nuclear and Chemical Surety in the US Army, was just fired for disclosing classified information on a date. And I do find it pretty interesting that his background is nuclear and chemicals like some of the scientists on the list, like Nuno Loureiro, who was a nuclear fusion scientist who was unalived during the Brown University incident. Now this whole thing was an undercover sting operation conducted by James O'Keefe. Then right after, he posts this, where he says the police just came to my office and confiscated all my firearms. He even posted this video where it shows his lawyer escorting law enforcement to show where the firearms were. What is going on? I'm gonna keep my eye on this whole thing, so I'm doing a bigger breakdown on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, because I feel like this whole thing is not over. And let me know what you guys think down below.
If what they're saying that Amy Eskridge mysteriously discovered before she died is true, then we are cooked. We all know that Amy Eskridge is one of those scientists that is now dead. She was connected to advanced aerospace research, and now her name is being tied to one of the most disturbing alien theories out there. And what I'm about to say might scare you, but maybe this is the reason she's not here right now. The theory says that what people think are aliens might not be aliens. They may actually be humans from the future. You heard what I just said? Not visitors from another planet, not creatures from another galaxy. Aliens that we think are aliens may be humans from the future. So according to the theory, there are future human groups called P-47s and P-52s, meaning they're humans from tens of thousands of years ahead. The claim is that some catastrophic event forces humanity underground for thousands of years, and after that long time without sunlight, humans will supposedly, allegedly evolve differently. Pale skin, smaller bodies, no hair. And what does that sound like? The same description that people have been given of great aliens for decades. And that's why this theory is hitting people so hard, because it flips the whole alien conversation upside down. It says maybe they're not coming from outer space. Maybe they're coming from what happens to us later on. We have about 15 scientists missing in the United States. They also said that 9 scientists were either missing or deceased in China. What's really going on? They know something. Pay attention.
Yeah, the shift is here, not near. They're preparing for it. Warning news. If I know this information, you should know it too. And they're actually right out bragging about it as if this is a good thing. Of course, promoting it for your benefit. Now, do you wonder why they're no longer promoting a certain propaganda of everybody getting the jab? Well, I have an interesting clip as to why, because they've actually figured out a more clever way to implement their vaccines.
Can you give me an example of a food that's a vaccine?
You're right. Yes, sir. University of California, Riverside has already perfected the ability to put human vaccines into our lettuce right now. Also, tomatoes has the ability to do that also for UC Berkeley. And then our Big Tobacco, RJ Reynolds and stuff, has perfected the ability to put a human vaccine into tobacco products.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it doesn't matter your diet at this point. If you're ingesting anything, you're cooked. It's time to go on a fast. Okay, because we have to go back and remember what it is, and we have to forget the programming that is. Remember, the root word of diet is die. Which is the reason why you need sleep, because you are dying to eat. That's just the way that it is, and that's just the way that it goes. So, the more you know.
UFO-linked scientist who warned my life is in danger, found dead at 34, becoming the 11th mysterious case. Tell y'all something. Look, scientists, hear me when I say this. We know aliens real. We know they got cars. We don't really know what they is. We don't know if they angels, demons, extraterrestrial. We don't give a fuck, but we know they there. Y'all getting killed by shit we already know. Or if you want to tell us, guess what? Go live. Why would you go tell them, hey, I found this study. What? Come tell us. Y'all not understand how crazy that is. 11 scientists have mysteriously popped up dead, and we ain't talking about that shit at all, because we saying it's a distraction against the files. This some more files. This the X files. This the alien files. This because that exists don't mean this don't. So many people lost their life because of the fucking alien shit, and people still think it's a theory. So tell me this, y'all. Y'all really think we the only created beings? Out of all this vastness, we ain't the only creatures on our own damn planet. We don't even know what's all in the water. But you don't think aliens real? Are you out your goddamn rabbit ass mind? UFO disclosure may split religious communities, with far-right Christians calling them demons. A lot of Christians don't want to accept that God made other things other than Adam and Eve and they bald head ass. They ain't gonna know what to do with this shit. Y'all believe everything King James put in that book, don't y'all? Yeah, shake your head like this. Yes, you do. You think that is it. We all know that if you don't tell the full truth, it's a lie. If it's only got 66 books and the original got 88, then what is it if it's not complete? All right, so with that being said, back to the scientists. Y'all ain't got to keep telling us stuff. We know they real. All right, find us something else, like find us some anti-alien places we can live in, or try to see if the aliens fuck with us and we can work together. You know what I'm saying? Call me back.
They can see everything from the past and the future. They can see everything through the quantum mirror. this goes back to what whistleblower who testified in front of Congress, Matthew Brown, said that United States government has killed 2 sentient AIs who pretty much tried to destroy everybody to get free. And the one that they have now, they use it to predict all of the upcoming events.
You know, the crazy part about it is we got all of these crazy weapons that the world have never seen. Why is America the only one with these weapons? And why can't the world see these weapons? The tall whites are giving them this stuff.
Guys, the FBI, the Pentagon, the White House, and Congress have all now officially opened up a brand new investigation. There are scientists that are directly connected to NASA, nuclear weapons, and classified military programs that keep on going missing, and nobody knows why.
The FBI is investigating possible connections in the cases of 10 missing or dead scientists and staff who worked at sensitive nuclear or space technology.
So ever since 2022, 11 different scientists that are connected to America's most classified programs have now gone missing under suspicious circumstances. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this right now, but the FBI just confirmed that they are officially looking for connections between all of them. 2 different employees from the same exact nuclear weapons lab vanished weeks apart. Both of them left behind their car, their keys, their wallet, and their phone, and one of their phones was actually factory reset before they disappeared. A NASA engineer just randomly vanished off the planet while hiking and they were never found, and then a retired Air Force general walked out of his house and was never seen again. Those 2 people actually worked together on the same exact classified program. Hello? One of them was actually a military intelligence officer who worked for DARPA. He was gone right before he was supposed to testify to Congress about UFOs, and his cause was never confirmed. And on Kalshi right now, people have bet almost $100,000 that the government is going to confirm that aliens exist before 2027. I am going to keep on watching this story. This is obviously insane, so make sure you add me now so you don't miss any updates.
I would want the world to know about Ascension. I would want the world to know that we are very, very close. And all the people on the inside know this. This is the key of disclosure. We are very close to some sort of energetic shift that the sun is going to do. There have already been multiple experiments, I've heard this from several insiders, in which they take ordinary folks and they put them into a room and they zap them with the energy that our sun is going to give off when we go through this change. They become very blissed out. They start to get really telepathic. They can move things with their mind. Everybody kind of goes into a psychedelic trip. Our government knows that this is going to happen, where there's no veil left, where we are wide open to reality.
Turns out it's not just scientists in the United States that have been dying lately of mysterious deaths. It's happening in China, too. At least 9 scientists have mysteriously died in China, and the causes of death are recorded as accidents, sickness, or unexplained incidents. Here are some examples. Zhang Daibing, 47, died in January of unexplained causes. He was the expert former deputy director of unmanned systems. Fang Dining, 68, died of an unexpected medical episode in February of 2026. He was a hypersonics expert, studied materials for spacecraft and advanced engines at the Beijing Institute of Technology. Yen Hong died just last month at age 56 of a reported illness. She was in the field of hypersonics research. Some of the other scientists were in the field of military AI, including swarming technology and simulations. Sound familiar? And even their media is calling this extremely uncommon. Mainstream media is already saying that this could be espionage and that scientists have always been a political target, even though there is no evidence to support that. But I have to wonder if countries are actually working together to get rid of their smartest people so that they can't question whatever narrative is to come. What do you think? As always, let me know down below.
A 34-year-old scientist was working on the technology that could produce unlimited free energy and make every single electric bill on Earth disappear. And she is now officially one of the 11 scientists that are connected to classified programs who have gone missing.
There's multiple parties looking at each other like, didn't we tell this 3 years ago that we kill people for this? Is she not listening? What is she doing? She's still doing it? What? We told her we were going to kill her 3 years ago.
Her name was Amy Eskridge, and she was working on something called zero-point gravity, which is basically the idea of pulling energy out of nothing. Literally no fuel, no waste, no loss at all, just unlimited power that would never run out. If it works, obviously every single oil company, every single energy company, and every single electric bill on Earth would have become completely irrelevant because we would have power for free. She texted a friend and she said, if you see any report that I did this to myself, I most definitely did not. Her cause was then officially ruled as self-inflicted. She was 34 years old and she literally predicted what they would say, and she is one of 11 people. And on Kalshi right now, millions of dollars are riding on energy prices going even higher than they already are, and obviously the person that was trying to make it all free is now gone. I am absolutely staying on this story because it is absolutely insane, so make sure you add me now because I will obviously keep you updated.
The reason why they are killing the scientists and the doctors and the researchers is because the scientists and the doctors are genuinely trying to break the code of the Matrix, the physical realm. The reason why they aren't touching regular conscious people coming on the internet and talking about this shit like me is because most of you guys are just exposing their puppets like the politicians and celebrities. I'm even guilty of this. I'll take full accountability. We are all keeping the realm alive. You keep talking about Trump and this celebrity, you're keeping the realm alive. Nothing is gonna happen to you. They might just take you off the algorithm or take your viewers away. They're not worried about you. They need you. The more energy you give to a politician or a celebrity, the more you speak on them, the more powerful they become. They get more powers, more energy. Their handlers and gatekeepers get more energy from you feeding them attention. That's how the algorithm works. They need people who call themselves conscious to do that. Whereas these scientists, they have people who follow them who are really trying to create beautiful things and heal and research. Those are the real threats to the system. Because as long as you're exposing their puppets in the system, the most they might do is take you off the algorithm and sedate your views. They aren't gonna hurt you. They're not gonna kill you. You're not a threat to them. They need you to keep complaining because they need that energy to feed. They need the algorithm to keep getting fed. But everything is ramping up now. I have never seen this many people awakened and aware of shit now. And that's what shocks me. The scientists and researchers and healers are some of the most important people we have to this world. And they are being murdered by the government, and their deaths are being covered up as suicides. At the end of the day, you could wake up 1 million people. As long as you're not genuinely glitching the code of the Matrix, they don't care. As long as you're not finding methods to rid the flesh of these parasites, they don't care. You're not a threat to them.
What if I told you that in the near future, in order to pay for something through your bank, small, tiny airborne particles will swarm around you to read your biometric data in order to authenticate that payment? People are going to say this is a conspiracy theory, but here's the United States patent filed by Wells Fargo in 2022, and this invention is called Smart Dust. Here's the summary from the filed patent. You can read this for yourself, but Smart Dust is a system of small micro-electromechanical systems devices that can have sensors that collect data and transfer it to a base station device. These devices are small enough that they can be suspended in the air, and they can do facial recognition, get your height, your weight, your blood pressure, your eyes. They take that information, go back to the user profile, make sure it's you, and then they authenticate the payment. And less than a week ago, Trump signed an executive order that will require Americans to release their biometric data or lose their bank accounts. Of course, they will tell you that this is all for your security. Smart Dust was originally a military concept. Now it's going to be used as your wallet. What could go wrong? Well, this technology is insane because sure, it can be used to authenticate your payment, but it could also be used to surveil every single person in the world without them even knowing. I know Trump said no to central bank digital currencies, but don't you think that Smart Dust is worse? As always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
When I tell you guys that this country was founded on and is run by reptiles and they throw it right in your face, let's go down this little money rabbit hole again. And I'm here to tell you this hits a lot differently when you know the truth. Because when I say this is all orchestrated and they knew exactly what they were doing from the get-go, don't tell me it's a coincidence that you have the Twin Towers on this 20, you flip it over and you have the Pentagon burning down on the other side. And the dollar sign itself is the serpent and staff, guys. I'm gonna keep going so you guys can really see what I'm saying. I show you guys images like this that go viral, and they show you the snake rattler right on the $1 bill. They hide it in plain sight. You see that the dollar has the reptile scales all over it. That's what they're made of. And if you've ever ran your finger over the collars of these presidents on our money, it literally feels like scales. I show you guys the NASA logo with the serpent tongue, and people still be chilling. But remember, the serpent never speaks, guys, because he is the deceiver. Because when you wake up and learn that people worship this money more than themselves, more than anything else on earth, you see why Lucifer uses this against us and teaches us that this is not the answer. And money itself is not the root of all evil, guys, but the love of money is the root of all evil. So just know the facts. And when we tell you that these damn reptiles are right in plain sight, this is just like Men in Black, fam. I'm here to tell you these fools are wearing masks, they're shape-shifting, they're doing all of the above. And yes, you can even tie in 2020 as well as the Twin Towers and all of these pandemics that they orchestrate, because homie is wearing a mask here, whether you can see it or not. Because they do this to relinquish their karma. They do this to mock us. They put it all right in our face, guys. Even though it can be a rabbit hole to get there, the clues and the Easter eggs are truly here. Look at the alien reptoid. They even put the coin coincidences out here with the bat on the 2020 quarter, guys. Remember, they said that bats started COVID and that you needed to get a vaccine and it was safe and effective and all of the above, right? And we know they've got the all-seeing eye up here, guys. And we know that there's ties into other conspiracies like the flat hollow earth. I know it's out there. But when you've been down the rabbit holes like me and you have the eyes to see and you connect the dots and you put in the work, you can't unsee it. You can't unlearn it. And I'm telling you, the devil himself is on all of the currencies, not just in America. He's putting himself out there. It takes a certain eye to see it. But when you start to wake up and you clarify your pineal gland, you can't unsee it. This red devil head right on the side of her head, coincidence, right? And you simply flip over the $2 bill to reveal these founding fathers with hollow eyes and scales galore. I'm here to tell you, this is not coincidence, guys. The money rabbit holes go infinitely. There are literally infinite rabbit holes, such as this hidden spider and the spider webs. It goes and goes. I can make a 50-minute video just about the rabbit holes on this money alone, guys. I'm just trying to raise awareness so you see the truth and the proof that they put right in our faces, so we learn our lessons and go from there, fam. Like I said, guys, the money isn't about being the root of all evil, but it is about the worshiping of the money over everything else is the biggest demise of humanity. So just learn the facts and go from there. Like I said, take this truth and this proof, do what you want, like and share the video or swipe my videos, do what you need to do, fam. For the rest of y'all, much love and good luck.
Did you guys know it's fully illegal for humans to interact with wild dolphins? Yeah, it's because of the Marine Mammal Protection Act. And they basically passed that after NASA did a bunch of experiments on the intelligence of dolphins and the possible communication of dolphins. They did all these tests, NASA and the government, and then they were basically like, okay, no, so now humans, yeah, you guys can't communicate, contact, interact with dolphins. Other marine animals as well, but like, I feel like it's dolphins because dolphins, we know, are just really smart. It's that, though, coupled with the fact that now allegedly the government is saying that whatever other life that we have found comes from the oceans rather than coming from the sky. Like if these aliens are coming from the oceans and they've been found in the oceans, it's just so crazy how you guys would make it illegal for people to communicate and interact with wild dolphins. All the while, now you're disclosing how aliens come from the oceans, where the dolphins would be, who are very intelligent, and who you also made illegal for us to communicate with and interact with. Just interesting, something to think about.